Okay, today we look at estimation for costs. I'll go very fast. The one that you can read from the slide, I'll go very fast. Only today I will only have one objective is to calculate the cost by a certain steps. Okay. Okay. So today we'll do pricing and estimation. Okay. Okay. So C cost estimating relationship. Normally we need you will generate the output of a cost model. So it can be from an equation, cost quality, cost or cost non-cost relationship. Meaning you can plot the graph by a few relationship. So mathematical equation means you have a y and x, and then you will come up with all the dot here. This is your data. Then you come up with a line. Regression analysis is how good is your line. Let's say in Excel, you can generate y equal to mx plus c, and you can generate a data called regression r squared, 0.9 something. 0.98 means if you zoom in, your line and the dot is very, very close. Very, very close to the dot. Okay, there's a calculation there, but we are not interested in how to find the calculation. But what you need to understand is the regression. Regression is how good is the data fit to your estimation line. Okay, regression R squared. Then your y cost, x cost, cost quality, cost non-cost. It depends how you plot it. Okay. Okay. So you have type 1 acquisition and type 2 acquisition. This one you read lah. You read left and right. So there are sources for your information. When you do estimation, you need data. So how you get your data? Experience, your logbook or your QA quality logbook measurement. You do survey, you do knowledge of the operation or process, some unique experience. When it comes to design of tooling, design of machine, then you need experience in operation. Estimate using software if available nowadays. You sure have a software to estimate, right? For example, MATLAB, and so on. And sometimes your data can be verbally through interview. Okay. For example, if you are designing for consumer product, like for example, Apple Watch, or any Apple products or any cars products, there's a certain way of design methodology or design philosophy. Why they design in such a way? Because it's dealing with arts. You cannot quantify arts one. Art can, but is when you go into creativity, you cannot have an equation like you must do it in a certain way. Creativity is a human touch. It's a human touch. So it's based on experience. Okay. Read lah. So how you do how other company do their cost estimate, all this. So they will do statistical data. They use statistical data or parametric estimate, or they use analog estimate. Analog means they compare the figures side by side, where they do reverse engineering. They take a competitor design, go back to the R&D department, they dismantle it, then they will do comparison of features to their own company products. All right. For example, they buy a Tesla Model X, then they compare with the BMW EV cars, for example. So they make comparison. Or expert judgment lah. This one, maybe they import some chief engineer from Apple. They want to go into the Model X dashboard design and so on, right? So they can do. Okay. Type of estimate. First type is order of magnitude analysis. Order of magnitude analysis is without detailed engineering data. So the order of accuracy will be plus minus 35%. Okay, plus minus 35%. So the type of this type of order of magnitude analysis, you can use past experience, parametric curve, capability estimate. This one is to have a very quick estimate, right? For example, the electric bill for the next month, for the manufacturing floor, you can use a very rough data to predict. Okay. Good. Okay. Order of magnitude, they estimate a top-down estimate. What mean by top-down? You have 6 level of management structure. So management level 1, 2, 3, and then technical level, you start with 4, 5, 6. So if you see this one as organization chart, the one at the top will be level 1, and then go to the second one, third one. Then it pass through the functional unit. So when it comes to functional unit, it start with 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Okay. So this one usually applied to level 1, work background structure, WBS. So for chapter 6, you will always see the word WBS, work breakdown structure. This is work breakdown structure, level 1 to level 6. Okay. This is for example, how you estimate the land value. So this one is in US, Chicago. So your contract, you contract a construction contractor who inform you that parametric statistical cost of a for home is 120 square per foot, but in Los Angeles, in big city, it might be 350 square foot, for example. So another one is approximate. Just now is order of magnitude. The next one will be approximate. Approximate, it change from 35% to 15%, plus minus. Okay. Now, you view this kind of estimate based on WBS. When you sit at the top, you won't see very, very detailed things. Okay. You as a CEO, you as a MD, normally you have an overview and you don't go deep into that plus minus things. So when you have a order of magnitude estimates, you normally from the top down, means from the top here. So here your accuracy will be plus minus 35%. But when you come to technical guy, like you guys are, engineering guy, you very particular in how you screw the screw inside the hole. It must be plus minus how many. Then one is another type. This one it come to approximate estimate. This one also approximate estimate is also top down, like more at the management level, functional management level, right? So they reduce from 35 to 15%. So they have all this lah. Okay, so this sometimes they make decision based on rule of thumb, right? Okay. Then definite estimate is bottom up estimate. Bottom up means from the front liner to the top management. So if you are a frontliner, you look at very detailed things. right? So the accuracy become plus minus 5%. Accuracy is very accurate, right? Like how you screw the things. Okay, so there are three types. One is order of magnitude, which is over here, level 1 to 3. Then estimate one, also top down estimate, but it will be around here, not here, right? Here is order of magnitude. Then approximate estimate is about here. Technical level is 5%. Here is 5%. So the rest you read. Okay. So another method of estimating is use learning curve. So learning curve is you put in big data, then you can plot graph. Okay. So each company have their own way of doing estimate, right? So you have a table over here. So estimate methods, you have parametric, analog, engineering, generic type, you have ROM, budget, definite, and so on. So what is okay, this is just an example. This is an example. I'll show you the tutorial question. Okay, this one. This one you read. So you read. So estimating tables or manual is actually there is a document that you just need to fill in what is there, what is the item there. Then the computer will generate the total cost for you. It's a template. Here's a template. Estimate. So it depends on class. What is your class? So if you're class 1, then you is about 5%. Then 15% is about class 2. Then from class 3, 4, 5, they are magnitude, right? Magnitude estimate, right? Okay. So these are example of checklist from class 1 to class 4. Class 1 to class 4, there are some checklists. For example, a project management, what are the checklists that you do? For example, the first one, you see the first one? First one is from the bottom up, from the functional group, the technician, all these. So our engineers, they go very, very detailed. So you see the list of checklists is quite a lot, right? And as you go towards the top management, there is less item you need to check. Okay, so that into the PowerPoint slides. Okay, it's a long table. It's a long table. So this is for construction. Construction, they have data they need before each phase. So they have all the things here. Okay, so there are lots of long checklists. For manufacturing also. Manufacturing, there's a checklist. Okay. So this is during bidding. You need to estimate for the customer requirement. So for example, the life cycle of the projects. So you have a conceptual stage, planning stage, and main stage. So conceptual, you just brainstorm what you want to do, concept, without based on minimum scope information. This is when you start the project, you build a team, you start with the concept. So concept means the scope, the scope of what you want to do or where you want to go, which plot of land you want to see, what type of building you want to build, whether you build residential or commercial buildings. That's a concept, right? Or what style you want to have if you do renovation, like planning stage, you come up with the design already, the first draft of design. Okay. Then main stage is more go into detail work already. Okay. Then termination stage means if you have some decision you need to make or stop with not enough information, you need to go to this stage, termination. You need to redo from the planning stage. You need to go back to planning stage. Huh? Okay. So this one you read. Okay. Okay, put back down. Okay, pricing process. Normally, typical company, they from top down. They from down to top. Okay, they will ask the manager info, then the manager will collect data, then they will compile, then send to the meeting for the decision. Okay. So all these are theory part. So this one you read lah. So you read. Okay. Now this diagram is important when it comes to how you manage your asset. So this is functional pricing flow. How they do the pricing from bottom up. So here, section to department, department to functional management. So up to here, they are functional group. Okay, so the cycle will be looping here. Functional management will loop back to department, then they will exchange information. Okay, so this is level WBS level 456 is over here. Then 1, 2, 3 is over here. Okay, so program management. So WBS release, then it will have pricing information up and down. Okay. Main hours is the lowest the lowest pricing element and time frames per month. Then man hours per month per task are converted in dollar after multiplication of appropriate rate. So man's hour actually is price. How much they pay you per hour. That is called man hour. Or labor rate. Labor rate. Okay. Okay. On management side, how a company predicts salary structure for 5 years. So there are 3 scenarios. If you estimate, you underestimate, then you're going to decrease your profit. Why decrease your profit? Because there is an increased cost in future if you underestimate. The first scenario. Second one, you overestimate. You overestimate means your project won't be very interesting because your investor look at your cost already, scared already. You overestimate, then your pricing, your cost is higher than your competitor, then people will go to other side. Okay, if project is governed and funded, then the salary structure is under contract negotiation. This one is just a information. Important is these 2 scenarios. What happens if you are underestimate the salary structure? What happens if you overestimate? Okay, it's a HR job. You will mark up or you will say something higher than the market rate. But it depends on scenario to scenario. So for example, for your case, your engineering degree graduate degree, you go to job street survey, they give you a range. Job street survey, salary survey already come out already. So each area or each stage have their own range of salary. So you are junior level, there's a senior For your case, you graduate will be starting from 2,500 to 3,000 something. This will be the range for fresh graduate in engineering courses. Of course, it depends on industry also, right? Manufacturing industry will be a bit low. If you go to oil and gas, will be a bit high. Okay. If you go into IT, robotic, then also on the high side. Because nowadays we go into Industrial 4.0, everything go into smart manufacturing. So if you have the high skill, you're dealing with IoT skill, you're able to program, you're able to do analysis, then your salary will be higher. If you are technically skilled, normally we will be on the lower side. It depends on the skill set you have also. But if you have a very specific skill that is rarely or need by the market, then your salary will be higher. Okay, but is this within the range lah? So let's say the range maximum in that area is 3,000. You go to interview, normally you will mention, you ask you what is your what is your expected salary? Okay, don't go too low, because if you say 2,005, their budget is 3,000, you say 2,005, they say okay, I give you 2,005. Okay, you need to do your homework before you go to interview. You need to go ask around the colleagues inside that company. For example, if you're going to Dyson, it's good that you meet someone from Dyson, go and ask what is the fresh graduate range there, right? Or your senior who just recently enrolled in that company, you can roughly ask lah. But salary is very sensitive things. It depends on how close you are with that person, and how good you communicate with that person also. Okay, but roughly you can know lah the range. Okay, so of course, if you say like, let's say the maximum range is 3,000, you say you want to 4,000. If you say 4,000 straight away, maybe you're not qualified lah. They will disqualify you because you request for so much and your skill set is not at professional level. If you are request for 4,000 and you have all a lot of certification, right? Let's say welding, you have you know how to do 6-axis welding, right? Means you can do inverted welding, certified for that. Then you can request more, for example lah. So if we only can do simple one, you request higher, then people will give chance to other candidates. Okay. So labor rates, all this you read lah. Yes, you read. Okay, so labor rate is based on experience. So the more experience you have in that field, you have more bargain power. Then budget also by the company. And local outlook is the environment. For example, the range of that state in the Penang state or KL state, maybe they pay higher because the industrial is matured in that area and lots of competitor there. Because company A might be also looking for the same expert. So they are competing with each other. Okay. Okay. So like for example, very niche area in aerospace defense, for example, you go into Safan that design fighter jets. Then it depends on your negotiation and also their budget at that particular. Okay. So labor hours submitted by functional units. If you're like production manager, normally your budget will be overestimate. Why? If you work in a China company, you know lah. You submit 10,000, management will not approve 10,000. They will give discount one. They will slash here, slash there. So in the slide here is called massage lah. they will squeeze down the budget. So so normally the budget or labor hour they will overestimate. So just have a awareness lah. Just have awareness. Okay. So there's a reason why management go and reduce the labor hour. One is overestimate. Another one is insufficient fund. Insufficient fund. And also they want to remain competitive in the environment. The word competitive here is not your salary, but is based on projects, right? They want to stay the project become competitive, or they want to win the bidding competition. So one of the major costs is labor cost. So this one apply. You want to apply for any funding, the major cost for the project is labor cost, right? So what is the conflict will arise between project manager and functional manager in terms of labor distribution? Okay, so there are two because of their role. Project manager will think in terms of projects. Project manager, you oversee project. You're more concerned about the success of the projects. But the functional manager, they want to protect their staff. So there is an argument there during the tender of the project or collection of products. So when you are the project manager, you want to keep your project competitive, means low cost. But the functional manager, they want to maintain their staff, actually technical staff. So technical staff, if you are very good, you cannot pay too low. If you pay too low, they will jump to another company. That is the trend. Okay. Okay. What is the solution a project manager can do to resolve this conflict? This module always asks you to solve problems. So how do you solve this kind of conflict? What do you think if you are the project manager? How you solve this conflict? How you solve? How you solve? Your functional manager submit the budget to you, but you say cannot too high. Then how? Because you need their help also actually. How you solve this kind of conflict? How you solve? Again, the keyword lah, communicate lah. Communicate communication is important So your project managers select members for the project team who are knowledgeable in man-hour standards for each of the department. Means you select your PMO, your project management office team, and the team member know the rate of that industry. For example, you select an engineer who know the market rate, who really know the market rate, then you should have no problems. Then, I mean, you select a member who know what is happening outside or the standard, then there's a trust there. Okay, a trust there. Then you need to talk. You need to buy coffee for the functional manager. Explain why you need to reduce, let's say, 20 ringgit per hour. Now you reduce to 18 ringgit per hour. You explain. Okay. Maybe the volume is not high, so you need to reduce. So you need to present the whole picture to the functional manager. Okay. So again, this is the reason why project team members are often promoted from within the functional rank. So when you become a project manager or you become part of the PMO, very high chances you'll get promoted. Uh, it's inside the PMO lah, PMO office, your project management office. Yeah, representative lah. Means PMO, yeah. PMO, you are here lah, PM, then this is a team member. So they are from the functional group. They are not manager lah, but their manager select them to go inside here. They are reporting to this one. So they are expert also lah, they're expert. So they put under you lor. You manage them lah. Okay. So there are two different terms here, overhead and overhead rate. Rate is deal with time one. Rate with time. Overhead is ongoing business expenses that cannot be directly attributed to a specific activities, but the overhead rate is a cost allocated to the production of products or services. Okay. Okay. So project manager, how they increase the success rate of the project, increase the success of his project by insisting that each program member understand overhead rate. For example, if overhead rate apply only to the first 40 hours of the work, then depending on the overhead rate, program dollar can be saved by performing work on overtime, where increased salary is at the lower burden. Meaning, your project cost, this is dollar, project cost. If you have a fixed rate, let's say technician, expert, 200 ringgit per hour. So this one, if your project you need to produce, let's say, a product, this technician can do 10 unit per hour. Your order is 1,000 unit. So if you have a fixed rate here, so it depends on how good is your technician. So your cost by hours, these hours. So let's say the first 100, 8 hours. The first 8 hours mean morning to afternoon. 8 hours you can produce if you're using this rate, your rate will be in a linear form. All right. Then after 8 hours, maybe after 5 to 10 p.m., this is considered OT. OT can be like, if you need to push up the volume, then the cost, the total cost won't be straight lah. It will be like flatter a little bit lah. Okay. So that's why they have a OT system and non-OT system. By Malaysia rules, if your salary is above a certain rate, you need to check. Current one, I think is 3,500. If your salary is 3,500 and above, you need to check the reason one. You more than that value, you cannot claim OT. Not entitled to claim IT OT. But it depends on company to company. For example, for example. So there is a labor rules there. So that's why all the manufacturing, the operator, normally their basic salary, they are very low, less than the labor law, then they can entitled to claim OT. There's a calculation to calculate OT also lah, but that one is you need to refer to the handbook. Okay, this one also you read from the slides. Okay. Yeah, this one you read. This one you read. How you come up with the equation for the overhead rate? You need 3 parameter: direct labor rate, direct business-based projection of overhead expenses, and all these are the factor that you need to consider. Okay. This one is lots of theory lah. So this one you read lah. Projection of overhead based on what lah? Based on all this. Okay. Okay. So annual budget means per year budget is a prime factor in controlling the overhead cost. So these are the explanation, because your CEO will give you the goals of that year. So it will review and approve by the management. So it will be like next year budget, how much? What is the KPI for next year? Then you'll come out with the budget. Okay. So is there any headcount or any extra new staff you want to hire and so on? Right? Okay. So 6 subtopic including under material support. Right? So material support, material purchase, and so on. This one you read lah. Okay. So this is the diagram. Upon release of work statement, work breakdown structure, and so on, the end bill manufacturing plant as the end item bill of materials, material plant are prepared according to this flow. So this one is important for your test because you can draw, right? So you start with the work statement, then go to breakdown structure, WBS, work breakdown structure, then go to subdivided planning. You go to bill of material, engine drawing, where you get bill of material from engine drawing, right? So bill of material give you two, manufacturing and schedule. How you do it and when you want to deliver it. So there are two, manufacturing and the time schedule. So manufacturing, you need to come up with the tooling, how you do the products. Then the schedule, delivery schedule, combine these two, it become planning activity. You compute, computer here means you compile the information, then you become a budget. Okay. Okay, this one you read lah. Okay. Now, this is a procurement plan or purchase requisition. Also important because this is a flow that you can draw and explain. So how you do the procurement planning, there's a flow, go up and down. So it come from management, go down to WBS, release, go to material control, then go down to the vendors and so on. And you look back. Okay, so this one also you read. So there are 13 steps. 13 steps provide a logical sequence to help a company control its limited resources. So there are 13 steps. This one, no choice, you have to memorize. All right. So 13 steps. If the question asks you, what are the steps to help a company to control its limited resources? 13 steps, you have to memorize. So each step is 1 mark. So 13 marks, half question already. Okay. But if this one come out, I'll let you know. Okay. But there are 13 steps. So this one you read. Okay. Detailed pricing summarize at least 2 stages. One is preparation during the meeting with the management, and the pricing termination. Pricing termination means you close the projects, right? So these are the list of typical pricing report. This one you also read lah. Okay, there are a few typical report. Detailed cost breakdown, total project manpower curve, monthly equivalent manpower, annual cost distribution or yearly cost distribution, functional cost and hour summary. This one you read lah. Okay. So this one, how the question can ask you is that give a few example or 3 example of typical pricing reports. So this one you mentioned 3 from here lah. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the question might ask you give 3 example of a typical pricing report. So you can choose any one of these and then you explain. Okay, this one you read now. Okay. Okay, so let's say this is the graph, the chart to explain the department man hours. So on the y-axis is manpower in man months. So this one is 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Then December to January. Okay. So projected manpower required for given department. So this dashboard, maybe December he need maybe 22%. Then January until March, the department only need like 16 or 17 people. Then the production pick up after March until May, then drop down again, and up. Okay. So department manager, however, attempt to smooth out the manpower curve as shown in the solid line so that you don't create disturbance to your production. Or this month you hire people, this month you fire people, so very troublesome lah. And then account also very headache. This month, why so much money come out, and so on. Okay, so the department manager they try to smoothing out the manpower in average, right? So they will make estimation, the dotted line, and then the department manager will smooth up. Will take either by average or they will take the mean of the whole curve, like they will smooth out so that they can manage from January to December time. They don't need to always like hire people. Okay. Now then how you do when you at this stage, let's say January, you have 20 people throughout the year. So during this year, what happened to this let's say 3 people here? These 3 people, you know that you have, in this case, you have overstaff because the need is 18 staff. You have 2 more staff extra. 2 more staff extra, your staff will feel very relaxed during this one. So you need to smart enough to maybe send them for training. The 2 staff send them for training so that they equip for the next project coming in. Maybe they need the skill set over here. So this stage you can send them for training. Then this one start to pick up already. Start to pick up, you need the manpower up to from 20 to 30, you need extra times. Means you need OT here. You need extra manpower here or OT. So when you OT, you can improve the productivity either by using technology or using OT system. Force your staff come back to work. Here. Then here also. Okay. So the communication is important. So maybe you can project this whole graph to the whole company during town hall and let the whole department members attend, and then unless they know what time they will be very busy, what time they will be a bit relaxed, so that they don't complain, or why this work this month so busy, that month so relaxed. Okay. Okay, 2 questions to ask is whether you have sufficient people, what is the rate that you need to what is the rate at which the function department can staff the projects. Okay, so means how much money you can pay or how many staff you need to station at that particular time. Okay, so type of problem can occur, this one. Okay, so again, the axis is still the same, number of mans you need and the reference month. So curve A. Curve A show manpower requirement for a given department after times moving. Is curve A. Curve B, modification on time phrases curve to account for reasonable project manning. The difference between these two curves will reflect the amount of money can be the amount of money that you can save or the contractor have to forfeit owning to manning and demanding activities. Means there is a cost plus minus here. Okay, cost minus here. Okay, this one you read lah. This one is a bit qualitative. It's very difficult to explain how to do it. But this graph, the main purpose showing this graph is that you can do a effort cost smoothing out the department man hours. Means you can get the average value of for the total year. There's an equation or there's a way of estimating the mean number for that particular year. Then you estimate how many staff you need. Okay. Pricing review procedure, this one also important because it's a chart that you can draw and explain. Okay, so this one you go and read lah. This one you go and read. It form a few main character: management, CEO, program manager, then team member, and the functional managers. So the arrow go up and down. It depends on how you process the policies, the pricing. This one also you go and read the PowerPoint slides. Okay. This is a review procedure, how they go up and down. Okay. Okay. So historical, this is estimating high risk projects. So for high risk, how you know it's a high risk or low risk, it depends on the historical estimate. So construction company, they can do very good historical standard, which lower their risk because compared to R&D and high risk, R&D, MIS, I forget what is this already, but R&D, they are quite high risk because they always, R&D is a new unknown area, or you need to design something new. You don't know whether it's going to happen or not, cannot happen, right? But construction, you already have a template, you already have the precast structure or the schedule, similar projects or similar technologies, you need so many times, you already have the experience already. So you can estimate based on your history data. Okay, this one is again accuracy of WBS, low versus high risk. Okay, so low risk, if it has program level, a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's a program, then low risk will be accuracy will be plus minus 35. High risk project will be more than 75%. If it's a project, then the percentage will be drop, accuracy will drop to 20%. High risk will be 50%. And the work package here is level 5 technician. The accuracy will be very, very low, only 2%, and high risk will be 5%. What is important observe here is the percentage of accuracy when you drop from level 1 to level 5. What is important, you observe that when you at the top management, you don't see things very, very detailed. Okay, the accuracy will be very high compared to the lower functional group. That is the important thing lah. The numbers is just a reference. Okay. Rolling wave, a strategy to estimate high risk projects. They use rolling wave or moving window. So let's say this is R&D projects from January to December, and you have A, B, C, D. You have level 5, level 2 work, like this one, right? So last for 3 months. For part A, R&D effort established 6 months, is well defined and can be estimated to level 5 of the WBS. Okay. However, the effort of the later 6 months is based on the result of the 6 months and can be estimated at level 2 only at incurring high risk. So this one, level 5, level 5, okay. So means for the part A, if your R&D projects, you assign the work to level 5 people. Then after 6 months, only you can make decision at the higher level. So there's a high risk there. So at B, there's a shift of window. So this is also 6 months from 3 shift to 7. Okay, this one I just ignore lah. This one a bit qualitative. I'm not able to give you a good example for this one. Okay, what mean by moving window? Moving window is an approach where you manage your projects. You see the time still there. You still need 12 weeks, but when you squeezing the window, the time to make decision also very short compared to from A to D. Okay, it's just a very qualitative observation that when you do estimate, the it just tell you that the workload here lah, but it cannot tell you more detail about that lah. This one you read. Okay, this one also you go through the PowerPoint slides. It's a flow chart and how you make decision when you're assessing the risk. Okay, this one you read. There's a certain procedure to assess risk. This is just an example. This is just an example. So each company have their own way of doing the risk assessment. So this is a textbook example. Okay, so I think I stop at project risk. Next lecture, we continue with project risk. Okay, we stop here lah.